I'm back with another good one. I'm back with another good one. This is another good one. And this is talking about the welfare, the system that was procreated for the demise and the destruction, right? And the indoctrination of the indigenous people of this earth, of America. This is an actually true fact. And I need for you to understand that. And I need for you to understand that because this is really, really important. And some people may get it, some people not. Some people's going to still hold on to the system which was procreated, right, for our demise as the indigenous, the descendants of Abel. This is an actually true fact. And I want you to understand this from a spiritual point of view. Most people won't agree with it, right? And I'm not saying that a lot of women is not going to agree with it, you know, but the things that I'm going to say is going to make sense and bring us to another level in life, hopefully, with our loved ones and our friends. I got my sister Fatima in the back there. Beautiful sister, yes. So, while creating these programs, right, and while creating housing and everything else, the objective is to get the man out the house, to get the indigenous descendant, the leader, out the house where the man can figure out everything and use his God-given talent and blessings and gifts that the Alpha Omega, the Creator, which the Almighty gave him to get things actually right. Hold on one second. Yes, so this is really, really important to think about this, right? And this is for us to have a little reminder on who we are. This is an actually true fact, right? So I'm going to show two videos. I'm going to show two videos or two clippings, right? I'm going to show you that one of the elders, right, and one of the queens of the indigenous descendants is talking about when this system was created and what was the objective of this system being created. The system was procreated to destroy the lives and the focus and the togetherness of the indigenous descendants of America, of Abel descendants, which was fixed by this entity. This entity made up this strategy and this plan to keep people oppressed, depressed. Oppressed, depressed. Just think about the money and think about all the benefits while working together, where we would be at. We would be much more better technology-wise, educational-wise, chemistry-wise, mathematically-wise, and everything else in this world, if they would have put the benefits and the money towards something else to get us, right, to a new plateau. But this devil, demonic, devil, demon, evil, twisted, didn't want that. You are the enemy, and he is your enemy. And this is why you have to treat him as us. He's the enemy of Abel descendants. He's the enemy of Abel descendants, and he hates Abel because Abel stood on business. Abel never backdoored the Alpha Omega, the Creator, and everything existing. He never backdoored him. Eve backdoored him. Adam backdoored him. Cain backdoored him, and this entity backdoored him. Not Abel. Abel stood on business. He stood on honesty. He stood on worship. He stood on integrity. Abel, and we come from that descendants, which is Abel. This is an actual fact. So he had to keep procreating systems to keep us oppressed and depressed. And by using that, was using the queen sister and bewitching her and putting her in the household where that the Creator says man is one level above the woman. And we're talking about in certain situations, right? You don't want to be the head leader. You don't want to be that person that be like, you know what? We point everything to you. This is how he created it spiritually. This is how he created it in the spiritual realm. It doesn't mean that I abuse you or I hurt you or anything else. You are my reflection and I'm a reflection of you. In the spiritual realm, we are going to get the same results. We got the same thing, free will to do as we please. You understand what I'm saying? But he's talking about his strength. He's talking about his strength. You understand that? While he goes out and make a living and make everything happen, we supposed to be teaching the children. And what's going on right now, and most people are going to disagree with me, what this president is doing is bridging the gap and trying to bring us together. I see what he's doing. I see exactly what he's doing, right? But you cannot undo all the pain and suffering and all the killings and murders of our elders. You can't do it. You can't erase that. The indoctrination is there. Doctrination upon doctrination, doctrination upon doctrination, doctrination upon doctrination, which was a fight and a force that was created by the sick, barbaric devil demon that taught Cain Abel to murder, death, kill us. It's an actual true fact, because Abel was going to get us back up. Peace and blessings be upon him. He didn't backdoor the creator. He didn't set this entity. He didn't do it. He didn't learn from this entity. And this is the results. It started with us. It's going to end with us. So the psychological slavery and everything else is upon us and upon our community. You know, the jail systems, the drugs, the guns, the alcohols, everything. It's been years and years and years indoctrinated. It's not going to take no 4 years to undo that, to erase that. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to take years and years and years to indoctrinate us with that, to actually find out on who we are. That's first and foremost. That's first and foremost on where we come from. To reteach, it's going to be a very, very big pushback. So he's trying to cut it. He's trying to cut the work. And this is why he took all of the women out of the workforce. All of our indigenous descendants, queens, he took them out the workforce. He took them out. Not because of some type of racism or anything like that. Because most of our children and our future are cutting each other down. So now the woman got to focus on raising their children and look at their children instead of pursuing career, because it's been a big, big campaign and it's been a big, big war to destroy us. So he sees that and knows that and understands that. I want you to understand that. Don't look at it as a bad thing, but look at it as a good thing. And I understand that. And certain things that's going on is disrespectful. But I'm talking about the indigenous descendants over here in the West, that we call America, that this is our land. We never was slaves. We never came, we not African. We didn't come from Africa. We always been here. Always been here, right here. We are not black. We are not Moors. We not African American. We didn't come from Africa. And we not African. And we not any of those civilization and titles. They are their own civilization and their titles. We got our civilization and titles. And our title is called the Up to God Right One. That did not speak or write. That did not speak or write. That did not speak or write. No, we did not. We used telepathically speaking to the Creator and each other, and used telekinesis and taught all civilizations the business. This is an actual true fact, right? So I see what he's doing. So now that he's taking these, because they had a deadlock. So now he's taking these food stamps. So the queen sister, the indigenous sisters have to face each other, and they have to face the fathers. We have to get it together. So he's forcing you to do what? To try to work it out. He's forcing you to stop the children from killing each other. He's forcing us to look at our children and stop having this entity raise our children and take our children to the afterlife. This is an actual true fact. And I want you to understand that. I want you to understand that clearly. And I'm starting to see a lot of things that's going on. People talking about ISIS is attacking the citizens, which is us, the indigenous descendants over here in America. They making mistakes. So people pulling their cameras out and they're going to talk about it, and then they're going to run it up for hot topics. Or they're attacking us. Watch out for this, watch out for that. They would have been going in our schools and taking the kids and taking everybody at an alarming rate. What's going on, right? We're able descendants from Venezuela and Mexico, because we are the same land. These are able lands. I just want you to understand that. I want you to understand that. Okay? Spiritually. And this is no disrespect to all of my beautiful, beautiful sisters, the indigenous descendants, beautiful queen sisters and princesses. This is an actual true fact. I want you to understand this. So this system was set up, even though we already know it, this system was set up to destroy the indigenous descendants, to get the fathers out the house, jails upon jails. And there's many fathers that's dead and going in the ground that fell into this system, that couldn't get it right, because oppression and depression was upon them. Oppression and depression was upon them. Oppression and depression was upon them. This is an actual true fact. Yes. So let me go ahead, and I want to basically show these videos. Okay? So, one of this guy right here, he's very disrespectful. He is calling our sisters that's also indoctrinated with the system for years upon years, calling them hood rats. Sister, you are not no hood rat. You just been indoctrinated, just like the man. But they went hard on the man and kept you at a certain level, and our children, to perpetuate oppression and depression while working the system upon you. They had to get the foundation out the house, and that was the man, and then rise you up to have all of these in all of these positions, while your children become what? Bait. And while your future become bait, because you're not there to protect your children and raise your children, teach them from right and wrong. Who was there to teach them? These entities. That's an actual true fact. They calling each other demons. They calling each other YNs and everything else. These are not their titles. They are prince and princess, and they bridge the gap to bring us to the next life. They bridge the gap between this life and the next life. That's an actual true fact. So, let's look this out. I don't recommend you calling these sisters hood rats. He's wrong for that.
I don't know if you know what you're looking at right now. What's happening in America right now. It's the fall of the African American hood rat. We're witnessing it. The fall of the Section 8 queen, the fall of the food stamp queen, the fall of the welfare queen. I spoke on this months ago, in the 8 days after the inauguration, on who President Trump was coming for and what he was doing it for. This for us, kings. This for us, black men. They putting the black man back at the head of the household. If you can stand under the pressure of manhood, he's giving us our family back. Many of us, it's a wash. But for the generations coming after us, he's putting the man back in his rightful place as head of the household. I told you, and now we're here. The fall of the African American hood rat is upon us.
He's wrong for that. He's wrong for calling our sisters hood rat. You are not a hood rat. You've been hoodwinked just like the father been hoodwinked, just like the man been hoodwinked. You've been hoodwinked. And the children been organ donors. The children been fertilizers for the earth. The children been, right, like I said, organ donors, been in and out of prison because the father's not there, the mother's not there. Being that the father's not there, the mother's there, right? She got to raise the children, but how she's going to make ends meet? She got to go to work. She got to go to school. Who's raising the children? This entity's there. Idle time is there. Idle time is the entity playground. And this is exactly what happened. This is exactly what happened. So I don't want the beautiful queens and the princesses to look at this as a bad thing. You have to reach out to the fathers and bridge the gap. You understand what I'm saying? Because mentally, physically, and spiritually, they just stomped on the indigenous descendants of this earth, which is able descendants, So this is a little gateway, a little passageway where that we can rise up and we can help each other out. And I also saw that he cut down the workforce. I think the workforce is going to work 12-hour shifts. I think it may be 12-hour shifts for 3 days, and all the rest of the days you're going to have with your family. I'm feeling that. Go on vacations and everything else. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm feeling that. Don't look at it as a bad thing. And then, he went to all of the museums, the indigenous descendants museums, and was taking everything out, which is wrong. He's trying to undo and erase what happened in the past to start a new future and bridge the gap between Cain and Abel descendants. Because they know and understand we can get all of us back up. This is an actually true fact because this entity been lying. The entity been lying to them and backdooring them. And they've been dealing with this entity since the murder of Abel. The really murder of Abel. Do you understand? I want you to understand that. They know that. They know that this entity been lying to them. They're not going to tell you that. But the only one that will know that is people that deal with spirituality, that's spiritual inclined, spiritual knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and have an insight directly from the Alpha, Omega, the Creator, and everything existing, the Almighty. This is the actual fact. And I am the interpreter. This is why I'm saying, thank you, Trump. Thank you. Because he is forcing us and bridging the gap so we can look at each other. I am not your op. Your op is that entity that you cannot see with your eyes. You can't see it. It is your enemy that been taking countless of us down a dark path. This is the actual fact. And then I want to show one more video. One more video, right? So, come on.
The welfare department came to our home. They talked with my mother about moving into the housing project, but the stipulation was that my father could not be with us. They would put us into the housing project only if he left the state. My mother and father discussed it, and they decided that it was best for the 12 children for the father to leave the home. And that's how we got into the projects. The welfare department had a rule that no able-bodied man could be in the house if a woman received aid for dependent children. If a man lost his job, he's looking for work, he still had to leave the home. And there was even a night staff of men who worked for the welfare department whose job was to go to the homes of the welfare recipients, and they searched to find if there was a man in the home. Sometimes men came back at night to be with their families. Some were found in the closet hiding. The welfare department came to our home. They talked with my mother about moving into the housing project, but the stipulation was that my father could not be with us.
That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. You know, at that time, that was like finding gold and diamonds and everything else. From struggling, from pain and suffering, where that it was a lot of oppression and depression going on, where that it was a lot of discrimination about jobs. You understand what I'm saying? So this was during this time. So this sick, barbaric devil demon had to procreate a system to do what? To destroy the indigenous, the descendants. Because his objective was not to get us back up there where he got kicked out of. And not to help you understand on who you are as a people, as a civilization, which bridge the gap between justice and balance upon yourself. This is an actual true fact. So I don't agree with that other man, and I apologize for that. There was just a message. The message, take the message, please. I want you to take the message. All our hood rat and all of the other things, that's totally wrong. That's the wrong message. Our queens and our sisters and our princes are not hood rats. They just been indoctrinated, right? Just like everybody else that's in the indigenous descendants civilization community. This is an actual fact. So I hope and pray that the Alpha Omega, the creator and everything in existence, will help us as a civilization, will help us as a people, will help us as the uply God right ones, the descendants of Abel. Thank you so much, Alpha Omega, the creator and everything in existence, for blessing me with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, with insight that you have blessed upon me as the interpreter, as I warn myself and us and all of the descendants that you love. Alpha Omega, thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you. Yes, this is an actually true fact. Yes, actually true fact. So we want to give him his praise and thanks. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm like I said, I see what Trump is doing. What is he doing? I see what he's doing. I've been saw what he was doing. He's trying to bring the people together. The men that's out the house, the men that's dying in the street, that's going in and out of prisons, right? That can't provide for themselves, that's on drugs, right? That got mental health issues and everything else. Those of us that have the intelligence and have the spirituality and the guidance and knowledge can pick yourself up right now and use this time to get your family back. And that's going for me, myself also. That's going for me to get our families back. And I hope and pray that the Alpha Omega, the creator and everything in existence, will give our sisters and our children mother a little knowledge and wisdom and understanding to forgive us as men. Because we also deal with demons and deal with past issues and have been on alcohol and been on drugs and not getting right because we have lost our families, right? And it's been generation curse upon us, curses upon us, curses upon us. Please help us a little bit, Alpha Omega. Please help us. Please help us with your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding instilled in us the help that we are desperately need. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mwah. Thank you so much. And this is the actually true of what's going on amongst us. I don't want to keep us that long. I want y'all to have an amazing, amazing, amazing day. All right? Peace, y'all. Peace. 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 Peace.